Welcome again to NeverQuitMath.com. We're dealing with decimal places and we're doing division with them. That's right, we're dividing. This is the trick to it. You want to move both decimal places, that's both decimal places, to the right one space. And then you want to keep doing that until both numbers become whole numbers and no longer decimals. And then when you get there, you just divide out. Just regular division. Let's try some examples so you can see exactly what I mean. Get my cursor over here to the left. Let's get going. Let's try 20.1. Let's go divided by 0.09. So that's 20.1 divided by 0.09. Alright, so now let me put in my regular division spot. 20.1. And then we dividing that by, let's move over, 0.09. Alright, so as we said, first thing we do, we take this decimal point here and we move it over 1. Same thing we do here. We take this decimal point here and we move it over 1. Notice that this decimal point is still here, so if we left it there, we'd have a 0.9. We want all whole numbers, so we must keep going. Alright, so I'm going to move this over one more spot so that I'll have 9 point. And then I'll move this decimal point over one more spot. But look at that. There's no number to move it in. This is rule of thumb. Anytime you got an empty space for moving over, a 0 goes right in there, always. So now let's move over and see what this problem looks like now. So we got 0. So we got 0.9. Which is the same thing as 9, by the way. And that's going to be the divisor. And we're going to have 20.10 as our dividend. So this is the result of us moving our divisors over. And it's really 20.10 divided by 9. And this 0 we're actually not going to need. Alright? So let's just say we got rid of this. So now 20.10 divided by 9. Let's do it and see how it works out. So we know 9 goes into 20 how many times? 2. Put the 2 up there. 2 times 9 gives us 18. Subtracting. Just moving on, right? 20 minus that is going to give us a 2. Alright? Bring down the 1 like regular. 9 goes into 21 how many times? So happens to be a 2 again. So you put that 2 on top of the 1. And then we're going to bring down our 18. 21 minus 18 happens to be 3. Then we're going to have 30. We need a little more space, so let me just move this all the way over here. So me doing that arrow is just saying I'm bringing the 30 over, but we're still working like normal. Notice I just brought down that last 0, so right here we'd actually be completely done. But what happens when you have a remainder like this? Well, okay, let's continue, and then we'll see what happens. So 9 goes into 30 how many times? We could put a 3 there. 3 times 9 is 27. 27 goes right here. Minus, bring it down. We're going to get 3 as our result. So we can stop here and do 223 and 3 over 9th. But if we wanted to continue to get decimal answers, well, I'll teach you that another time. For right now, just stop right here and you will have your answer will be 223. And what is your remainder? Your remainder is actually 3. And you always do remainder over divisor in 3/9. That would be your exact answer for this question. Got it? Let's get the circle. Then there we go. 223 and 3/9. Let's try one more right up here and let's see how it works. So let's think of 32.8. And let's do that divided by let's do this 0.16. Alright, so let's bring that down and we got 32.8 divided by over here 0.16. So it's the same thing again. You want to keep moving over those decimal points, right? So move that decimal point over 1. we still have an answer with a decimal point. And the same thing here, we move that decimal point over 1, right? So we want to make both of them completely whole numbers without decimals. So again, we move this decimal point over 1, and then we go on the other side and we move this decimal point over 1. So whenever you have an empty space, the rule is you put in 0. Notice the decimal point is at the end of everything. It's at the end of this number and end of this number. So we know we good to have two whole numbers. So now our problem would be 16 would be right here. 16. And inside the bracket, we'd have 3280. 3,280. So let's literally just move down to the next spot. We know that's the number 3,280 divided by 16. And I'm gonna leave it right there. Let's just bring it over here and continue here because this is more space. All right. So we got 3,280. All right. Divided by 16. So once again, first we're gonna do, does the 16 go into 3? We know that's too big. 16 goes into 32. It definitely does, and it goes in there 2 times. I'll put my 2 up there. 2 times 16 gives me 32. Subtract 32, and 32 gives you 0. Bring down the 8. Can 16 go into 8? No, it cannot. So what must we put up top there? We must put the 0. So then 0 times 16, of course, is going to give us 0. So we put a 0 there. And then we subtract. Moving down. 8 minus 0, of course, is going to give us the 8. And then we bring down our final 0 over there. Perfect. 16 go into 80 how many times? I know you may not know this off the top of your head, but I actually happen to know it. It's actually equal to 5, right? How do I know that? What do I do? Is I think 80, and I think, okay, 8 times 10 gives me 80. So then that means half of that would be 5. So that means 16 times 5 will do it. But you don't need to know that to get this problem done. So 5 times 16 actually gives me exactly 80. So put my 8 in there, put my 0 in there, subtract, get 0 right here. So my answer is 205. And you can double check this if you want. That's a 0, of course, on your calculator, and this is exactly what it works out to. All right. So once again, what are the steps? Let's go back and take a look at the steps. First step is you're always going to do the same thing. Set up your division problem, right? And then you want to move both decimal points to the right 1 space and keep doing this until they both become whole numbers, then just divide. All right? The answer you get will be 100% correct. All right. See you guys on the next lesson. That was dividing with decimals. Practice makes absolutely perfect.